When I'm in the mood for something sinfully delicious, particularly to cure a holiday hangover, I turn to someone with impeccable taste. I'm Divya Gugnani, celebrating the holidays in style. So let's go behind the burner and meet the expert. So I'm here with fashion designer Jay Godfrey, and Jay, the holidays are all about cocktail parties, celebrating, drinking, and eating. What's the morning after like?
Morning after for me is usually a little bit rough. I'm really rusty in the mornings, but I love to have people over for brunch during the holidays. I love attending other people's parties and having people over after. One of my favorite things to do during the holidays is make raisin challah French toast with Haagen-Dazs ice cream. It's something that my mother-in-law handed down to me. You know how they say you marry into the family? Well, I married into the family and got a recipe out of it. Well, it basically starts with a number of ingredients. The first thing is obviously the raisin challah. My number one tip when it comes to this, let it be 3 or 4 days old.
Okay, that's perfect.
Do not get fresh challah.
You do not want fresh challah. You want 3 or 4 day old challah.
And if you can go to a kosher style or real kosher kind of bakery, they've got the real deal challah. We don't want any, fakes or anything like that.
Yeah, we want the real deal challah.
You also definitely need full fat Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
If you want to go light, you can use low fat or yogurt, but if you want to go the Jay Godfrey style and mimic his aesthetic, you got to go with the full fat.
So essentially you take this full fat Haagen-Dazs ice cream, you stick it in a Pyrex dish. I prefer to let it melt as opposed to sticking it in the microwave or sticking it on the, in a pan and melting it, because I feel like the best flavors come out that way. A few other things you definitely need that really amp this recipe up is orange zest. Awesome.
So we've got some orange in the microplane here to do some zest.
Fresh raspberries, blackberries, always add a great garnish to it. Icing sugar, mwah.
Of course, confectionery sugar.
Then some ground cinnamon.
Yes, I can smell it. Smells beautiful. It smells like the holidays.
It does smell like the holidays.
Cinnamon reminds me of November through December.
Usually when I wake up the next morning, I also have the smell of alcohol in my breath. Step 1,
yes.
Melt the ice cream into the Pyrex dish. Let it sit for half hour to an hour. It'll be very liquidy like this. Step 2.
Yes.
Orange zest.
Yes.
Not too much, it gets overpowering.
So you don't want the white stuff, you really want the orange rind. Done like a pro, Jay.
Then, ground cinnamon.
Yes.
Okay? Just sprinkle a little bit in there. Again, it gets very overpowering at times. Anyway, I like to stir it up a little bit.
Okay, so I'll do that for you.
There's absolutely nothing fancy about this. I would start by cutting the challah into 1-inch slices. That's not an inch.
It's a little thicker than an inch.
That's okay.
That's okay.
As a fashion designer, I should really know what an inch is, right?
So it's time to dunk the challah, right?
Yeah, and this is a very fun part of it. Stick the challah in. Let it sit probably 45 seconds to a minute per side. Flip it. Simple. Take some cooking spray so that it doesn't get too sticky. And you're done. Fire it up. Let's hope this doesn't fire up my apartment.
Yeah. Yeah,
1,
there we go.
2. So anyway, it's best to leave it almost a minute. So 1 minute in the ice cream, another minute in or on the burner. Then get ready to flip. Yep. Look how beautiful.
Oh, that's gorgeous. You left it just the right amount of time. Because that's the color that you want. You want that a little bit darker than golden brown.
What is the next most important thing? Remember the challah because I'm Jewish, the maple syrup because I'm Canadian. Bring out the maple syrup, let it cool down a little bit. I was ill prepared, so it's actually still in the refrigerator, but that's okay.
That's okay, you can take it out. You want that real maple flavor, and the only way you get that real maple flavor is when it's sitting at room temperature. And so the same tip applies to the berries and the fruit. If you're gonna store them in the refrigerator, you definitely wanna take them out about a half an hour before you're actually gonna serve them to your guests, so you get those real berry flavors.
1.
We're going for height here, guys.
Drizzle a little bit of the Canadian maple syrup. And again, I reiterate, Canadian. Very light.
You want a little bit of sweetness on there.
Just a little.
I'm gonna get this in here, and then what I would actually do is I would tap it.
Exactly, around the entire plate.
Oh, and around the entire plate.
Because
okay,
what
Jay,
my guests have actually done in the past is they stuck the plate to their face
so
and started licking.
now it's like, you know, it's snowing.
And this is all within the confines of my apartment.
Can I add a little color there?
Yes, please. Blackberries are necessary. We're ready.
Try not to be too symmetric, but
And
I'm
then-
gonna give it a little bit of punch here and there.
What we're gonna need, Divya, is, since you're the host,
Yes, since I'm the host.
is to really try some.
Damn good French
It's
toast.
okay.
It's got that really wonderful vanilla flavor that you don't get from like using a vanilla bean or vanilla extract. It tastes like vanilla ice cream.
You know what? Unlike a lot of French toast, you don't necessarily need the as much butter because there's so much cream in the Haagen-Dazs that really gives it that richness.
It does, and the bread is just, you know, you gotta go for the real Jewish stuff.
You got a real Jewish stuff, for sure.
We do it right over here at Jay Godfrey.
That's right, there's no substitute.
There's no substitute. Jay, thanks for having us. Stay tuned to Behind the Burner, where we give you the tips, tricks, and techniques that are lighting the culinary world on fire.